You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
And we're going to be speaking to Ray Featherstone from the Sheerness County Youth Club. Ray, it's always great to have you here at BRFM. Thank you very much for coming along this evening.
That's fine. Great to be here.
Now, the last time we spoke to you, the Sheerness County Youth Club was under the threat of closure. Can you give us an update on that?
Yes, well, 19 centres in Kent and 5 projects were under the threat of closure, and they were all offered the chance to go for commissioning money. We made a bid and was unsuccessful. Clearly, we asked for too much money to run the club, and so we didn't get the bid. And we said, well, OK, then can we take on the building and go it alone? So Kent County Council have given us a 18 months lease, and our charity, Sheerness Youth, which has been connected with the club for a very long time, is taking over from Kent County Council to run the centre.
So how often will you be opening, Ray?
Well, in fact, we opened last Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll be doing 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 6:30 to 9. The Friday TARDIS Disco will open on the 15th of February, for a Valentine's disco, and then we'll be running the TARDIS disco every fortnight, and that will be admission of £1 on a Friday night, and we charge 50p on them Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So in fact what we're doing, we've probably cut down by about 50%, but in the target group, which is the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, their nights are not very much affected, only probably just 1.5 nights a week they won't get anymore.
Ray, what role will you be undertaking now?
Well, Daniel, as you know, I've been there just on 51, nearly 52 years now, right from a young member right up to actually being the senior youth worker for the club. I retired at Christmas because I had to, because obviously the club had finished, and I retired from Kent County Council. But I'm basically continuing that role under Sheerness Youth. I will be the lead youth worker there, and will run the club as a youth worker, but voluntary.
So what plans have you got for the future?
Well, fortunate enough, nearly all our staff team agreed to come work as volunteers, which is great because they're all qualified staff. So that makes a lot of difference to be able to have a qualified team. Even our cleaner has offered services free of charge. So at the moment, we can run pretty slim. And the plans we've got for the future is probably after Easter we'll start looking at recruiting more volunteers, and then we've got a lot of interesting projects we want to do. I mean, one for example is the video and television work we do. We've had to stop that over the years because we were on the old VHS recordings, and now it's gone digital, and it's going to cost quite a lot of money to replace that. We've got a lovely television studio, so one of our jobs will be to sell off all the equipment and then raise funds to restart our television studio again with digital television.
Ray, how will you be funding the centre now?
Well, Sheerness Youth, which is the charity, knew some time ago that we'd either have to support the commissioning money or, in this case, take it on ourselves. So we kept some reserves, what we'd raised over the years, and that's going to be used as a safeguard to make sure we pay the rent and the main bills. But we're going to need now to go to some of our supporters on the island and see if they can help us in giving donations towards activities for the young people and all the other extra costs it's going to do to run the club. But we are safe at the moment in terms that we've covered, we think, most of the normal boring expenditures, and we're hoping that people will help us with more of the exciting stuff for young people by donations.
So what are the long-term prospects for the centre?
Well, we've only got an 18 months lease, and after that we're hoping that Kent County Council will give us the right to buy. We certainly can buy the centre, but whether we're going to have to bid for it, whether we will give us the chance to buy it outright. And so one of the things we'll be looking for is to go for national donations and national lottery funding. There's one or two charities around that help you buy community buildings, because what we want to do within 18 months is to buy the building so that it's secure there for young people for many years to come. And then we will continue running in that building, and it will be ours to maintain. One of our ambitions, if we do get the chance to buy it, is to have it renovated. It is an old church, but it's quite a special type of church, and we think we could get heritage funding to renovate the outside and make it look very nice. It can still be just as trendy inside for young people, but it will be something that young people could walk by and look, and it'll be a lovely building.
Ray, will you be keeping the same name?
Well, very nearly. It's an interesting point. We are the only youth centre under Kent County Council that actually kept the word county in the title. Someone went for rather trendy sort of like short names. Some called themselves youth community centres, and of course everyone on the island, particularly our past members, all known it as the county. So we're going to, at the moment, providing there's no objections from Kent County Council, we're going to call it the Sheerness County Youth Centre. We've cut out the activity bit to cut the name down a little bit shorter. We can, of course, we could have called it just the Sheerness Youth Centre, but everyone knows it's the county, and we feel that they wanted to try and keep that name. There's a couple of companies around that use the word county, and they're not connected with Kent County Council, so we think the word county is quite safe to keep in the title. So from now on, instead of being called the Sheerness County Youth Club and Activity Centre, we're just simply abbreviating it, called the Sheerness County Youth Centre.
So, Ray, if people would like to donate money, how do they do that?
Well, they can, if they like to send their cheques to the Sheerness County Youth Centre, Broadway, Sheerness, ME12 1TP. Cheques should be made out to Sheerness Youth, that's the charity that will organise that. And if for any reason that they just wanted to give us cash, they can hand it in at the youth centre or post it through the letterbox. But I do ask everyone, if you can just tell us your name and address, because we do want to thank everybody. We won't necessarily publicise names, but we'd like to personally thank people with a letter if they're kind enough to give us donations. And I do put an appeal out to a lot of people on Sheppey. Things are quite hard in parts of Sheppey. People are not exactly particularly well off, and we're not asking people to stretch their budgets only to give what they can afford, but we're going to be extremely grateful for what anybody can afford to help us out through these first couple of years.
Ray, it's been great to have you here at the Monday Night Community Show, and it's good to have you back and updating us on how things have been going. Thanks very much, Daniel. I'll come back again and tell you how we get on in a couple of months' time. That's Ray Featherstone from the Sheerness County Youth Club this evening, right here at BRFM 95.6.